So I've been asked a lot why I've joined Advance UK and why I've not been promoting the Alliance for Democracy and Freedom. And I didn't really want to do a video, but I've been asked by that many people, particularly those that have known that I've been such a stalwart, such a advocate of Dr. Tek Kong and the rest of the guys and girls at the Alliance for Democracy and Freedom. Now, I've got nothing but respect and probably love for the Alliance for Democracy and Freedom. Such a great bunch of people, not just Dr. Tek Kong, who to me should be in Parliament. Mark Conway, the current leader, Ken Thompson up in Scotland there, the leader there, Cheryl in Blackpool, just so many, Rob in Wales, just so many. If I haven't mentioned you, it's no disrespect. Paul, ex-UKIPper, who basically runs the party, does all sorts of, but just a great bunch of people. And I never swallowed the COVID rhetoric from the government. I just thought too many criminal players involved. You know, as soon as you see Pfizer and you look at their criminality, you look at their record of paying fines, which is billions for untruths, and then overnight they magic up a vaccine for this disease that supposedly people were dropping in the street in China, but I never saw that here. Yeah, there was a bad virus out there, I'm sure. Flu disappeared, which was strange. This virus didn't only attack the elderly and the obese and people with comorbidities, it actually attacked flu as well, because flu just disappeared. Went from about 50,000 cases to one. And the whole thing, I just thought it was a money-moving exercise, and a lot of gullible people gave me a lot of stick for stuff that now seems to be coming out as the truth. So people like Dr. Tek Kong, they put their livelihoods, their lives on the line, saying, no, this isn't as bad as people think, we shouldn't be locked down, it's draconian, and they and I got a lot of stick for that. I also like the party for just having common sense and getting people who are experts in their fields to actually comment and not just pass stuff on to someone who was walking by like the main political parties do. David Lammy, head of the Foreign Office. David Lammy, Deputy Prime Minister. Now people moan about Trump in the States and the guy, I can't remember his name now, the guy with dementia before him. Guy with dementia, best person to be President of the United States. It's crazy. It's jobs for the boys, it's the political class. Doesn't matter if you're talking Farage, Johnson, Starmer, doesn't matter. Jobs for the boys. So a big advocate of the ADF. Now, why have I pulled back from the ADF and gone with Advance UK? I always try and be honest with people. I didn't really want to make this video, but so many people probably think that I'm, I don't know, a jump shipper, a coward, I don't know. So this is putting it to rest. I love the ADF. If they were in my constituency, I would vote for them tomorrow. Now, I've stepped back from the ADF because of Belmont. Basically, Tek Kong had a great idea, get all small parties to join a non-aggression pact. I think the original idea was that if there was that much in common with someone, like for instance the Alliance for Democracy and Freedom and the Freedom Alliance, not an awful lot of difference between the two parties. So why have two lots of admin, two lots of campaigning when you could really join? But no, there are, in my opinion, too many egos with those small parties. Now, what I think's happened with Belmont, and there's lots of great parties, lots of sovereign parties, all putting their differences aside for the common good of people, to give the voters a real choice, and I like that. But I personally feel that the Belmont Accord has been, how can I best put it? It's being used by certain far right, and I mean genuine far right. I get called far right every day. It's water off a duck's back. I fought for equality of people, with no matter what your skin colour is, no matter what your sexuality is. I've fought for their freedom. I fought for equal opportunity. I've fought for equality of outcome. I don't believe in DEI. I think it's a bad way of doing things. I believe in stamping out racism, so no matter what your colour is, you get a fair crack based on your ability. But so I get called far right for that. I get called far right because I don't believe in men in women's changing rooms. I'm far right. I get called far right because I think there should be an investigation into Pakistani rape and torture gangs. I'm far right because I want to protect the kids, in the same way that I want to protect them from white paedophile gangs, and I want royal family and politicians investigated, as well as the scum from council houses that prey on kids. I want it across the board, but I'm far right. I think we're being led down certain paths by these politicians who divide people on things like Brexit and even COVID. But there is a massive far left Antifa, I think, danger to the country. There's also a genuine far right influence that I've always fought against, even though I was with a nationalist party with a couple of guys who were ex-National Front. They'd had an epiphany. They'd seen the error of the way they were going, but there are a lot of people out there that haven't. And I think that Belmont has been, just my personal opinion, not producing any evidence, but from anecdotal conversations I've had, I think Belmont has been hijacked by certain characters who I don't personally want to deal with. So that's it. At the same time, at the ADF we've been campaigning, and a lot of people agree with us, a lot of people like our stuff, but the party has very little money. So we've all done our best on social media to spread the word. We've gone to fairs, to festivals, and really, being honestly, experienced very little growth, because people say, you're so small, what's the point in voting for you? So when Ben Habib, who I've got a lot of time for, came along with Advance UK, I looked into it. I've got too much time on my hands. I look into the finances, which is when I saw Reform had some of the same WEF linked donors as the Tories and Labour, and some of the same influences behind them as the Tories, Labour, Greens, funnily enough, Lib Dems. I thought, something's not right here. How can you have the same influences, donors, backers, and expect a different result? Couple that with Farage standing a lot of his Brexit party members down for Boris Johnson's Tories, and I smelt a rat there. So Ben Habib come along, I looked into them, looked as clean as a whistle, and heard Ben talk a lot of times. Got a lot of respect for him in the same way I've got a lot of respect for Dr. Tek Kong, and saw that there's over 40,000 members in the first, what, 4 or 5 months? And I thought to myself, that's a realistic chance in between 2 and 4 years' time of that party being a major force. And so I hope probably to stand for them, but if I don't, I will certainly throw all my weight and help and be out on the street canvassing and everything for that party. So I hope that explains everything. If anyone's upset by it, so be it. But that's my thoughts on the matter. That's the real reason that I've changed my social media from the Alliance for Democracy and Freedom, who I still think are a fantastic party and I would vote for tomorrow, and I've changed over to Advance, who hopefully will get the Electoral Commission go ahead to become a real force in this country. Hope that explains everything. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to the channel, and yeah, take a look at both. Take a look at the Alliance for Democracy and Freedom. Take a look at Belmont. It might be right up your street, and take a look at Advance UK. Thanks for watching. Speak to you soon. Bye for now.